how much you sold the product for, how much you profited.
My first invoice, I sent out two, but they added up to 2,542, and I profited 1,321. And this is just, like I said, this is just my first week, so
it's gonna get lucrative for you, bro. I'm really excited for you. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Felix, and in this video, we're gonna be sitting down with my student Tim. Tim enrolled into Flipping Medical Commodities University about 2 weeks ago, and he started this business on February 3rd. At the time of this recording, it's February 10th. Tim just sent out his first invoice for over $1,000. I'm not going to steal the limelight from him. We're going to introduce him, learn more about who he is and what he has going on. So Tim, welcome to the video. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody, who you are, where you're from, and what you have going on for us today.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tim. I'm currently located in Chicago, south side of Chicago. And I've been doing this for about a week now, and I've been seeing a ton of success. Transitioning from, I've already been a flipper. I've been selling couches. So the transition has been relatively seamless for me.
You've been flipping couches prior to this. How long have you been in that line of work?
I've been selling couches for about almost 2.5 years now. About 2 years and like 4 or 5 months.
You're already a reseller, so you kind of understand how the reselling game works. But what kind of made you interested in this and kind of pushed you forward to pulling the trigger on this? Because there's a lot of things out there, a lot of different things you can resell, and then a lot of different businesses you can get involved with. What was something that kind of pushed you forward to pulling the trigger on this?
I think it was just the low overhead. With couches, in Chicago, it's so expensive. I spend like $1,100 a month just on storage fees currently, And there's certain couches I get that might only make me 200 to 300. Don't get me wrong, I do get couches that make me 700, 800. But when I put that into perspective, that I can get diabetic supplies that take up absolutely no space that'll make me 200 to 300, it makes me it's kind of like a no-brainer, that'll allow me to hopefully get rid of a couple of my storage units. Just the fact that I saw so many people talking about how they were making money from it. The way I look at things is if somebody else is doing it and somebody else is successful at it, then there's absolutely no reason why I can't be successful at it. So especially when the process is sped up just due to, your course and everybody in the Facebook group being in contact with all the buyers and whatnot, it's been that's been extremely helpful.
Got you. And the one thing I will say, when you said you need a storage unit for your couches and your inventory, I'll tell you one thing, man, when you get to the point and, the simple fact that you were even able to make money with this in, 6, 7 days, it's just fair to say not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And people that may not be cut out to it might be at the level that might do, 1,000 or 2,000 a month, which is still, extra good side income. But I could definitely see you getting to the point where you might need storage for this because it's going to grow so big. But, if you need a storage unit for this business, you're going to be making some serious money. I'm talking, 50, 70, 100,000 or, $200,000 per month. And I personally know people doing those numbers. So, when you get to the point where you need storage for this, it's going to be, an exciting milestone.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really just looking to scale this thing. It's just such a simple concept.
How was your experience going through the course? Was it, any feedback? Was it too long? Was it too short? Did it make sense? Was anything confusing?
Course was perfect length. I went through it once and then I went through it again. I just went through certain parts that I felt like I needed to go over again. But it was very simple. I mean, you laid out everything that I needed. And I think the best part about this entire thing is the Facebook group and just being able to get in touch with all of the buyers because they answer every single question that you have. I think that's been the best thing is just communicating with people, asking questions in there like, hey, can I sell this to, who can I sell this to? And then people come in and they refer me to someone and then I go message that person and everybody's been extremely communicative. So the course is great and everything that comes with it is what makes it worth the price.
The support group of the Facebook group and the buyers was great. And then if, when you reach out to me, because one of the things that I see a big issue that seems to be when people are purchasing, courses or, getting involved with different business opportunities, they'll pay somebody. And I've done this myself. They'll pay somebody. I actually just had a terrible experience with this. I paid somebody thousands and thousands of dollars. And then when I go to reach out to them for a question, it's just a complete ghost town. Did you reach out to me? Any issues with getting in contact with me? Or anything? Can you speak on that?
No, anytime I really needed you, I was able to get in contact with you. And like I said, the thing is, I don't mean this in a rude way at all. We don't even necessarily need you for a lot of the questions because you put so much out there. So like at that point, it's like you put us on the game, and at that point, we can talk to the buyers, you know? So like I said, that goes back to what I was saying, with just you creating this group and this community of people who are so communicative. That's the biggest thing. You have everything you need with this course. You do. And if you don't make money with it, it's on you. There's really no way around it.
So I say the exact same thing. I say, hey, I'm going to plug you in to the information you need. I'm going to put you in the places you need to be with the people you need to be. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. But 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, you likely won't have any questions. It's just going to come down to you putting in the work. Would you agree with that?
I 100% agree. I realized that after like the first 2 days, I'm like, like I said, it's not really much to it. And then if it's anything specific, say a box is a little damaged or something, I just contact the buyer and they let me know exactly what I need in a timely manner. And also the thing I like about this is it seems like people are very patient with couches. When buying couches, usually we're acting on deals. So people are impatient. They're just trying to get rid of stuff immediately. Here, people seem to be okay with me just telling him like, hey, you know what? I got to get back to you on this because I'm not sure yet. I might contact him the same night. I might contact him a few hours later. But every time I've done that, people have always been like, okay, that's fine. We can meet tomorrow. We can meet the next day. Doesn't matter. That's the thing that I like about that as well. I think you could just chalk that up to it not being a ton of competition.
That is a good point because, and then another thing I think that maybe could be a reason for this is because, they didn't pay for most of these supplies anyway. Where a typical
Exactly.
couch, they just put 2 grand into a couch because couches could be, and I'm not knocking your hustle by any means, but, most of the people that get these supplies that we're dealing with, these people got these for free. So if you pick them up today, if you pick them up tomorrow, if you pick them up on the weekend, basically free money for them.
I had people coming to me, messaging me like, hey, did you find out? Can you buy this off me? Like, people are hitting me multiple times. That's why it works so well though, because you're helping so many different people. Like you're helping them, they're helping me, I'm helping a wholesaler, wholesalers helping whoever they work with, and that's how money is made.
Now, how quickly, you bought I think, let's just go to the text message. I think you bought it on the 24th, Friday, January 24th, you purchased the training.
Yep.
How quickly were you actually able to purchase product? And, for any of this, know, once you have these diabetic supplies in your hand, it's basically money in your hand. You just have to wait to sell it. How quickly did it take you to actually get some product?
I ordered all of my stuff, went over the course by like Monday. And all of my stuff came in on Friday of that week, but I was too busy over the weekend to really do any marketing. So I put out like 3 signs and like 3 stickers, just nothing. And then I didn't really do anything over the weekend. And then Monday I got my first call, and that was when I got my first deal, and I made like 180 off that one. And then that day, that's when I say like it really started that week, because that day I went crazy just marketing. The whole week I just really went crazy marketing. So it took me about a day after marketing to really start getting calls and making sales.
So you started on Friday, and by Monday, and when he says stuff, you're referring to your marketing materials, right?
Yeah, yep, all of my marketing materials. I was waiting on all of those things to come in. If they would have came in immediately, I would have been making money immediately, but they
You made
didn't.
$180 profit off your very first deal or very first client.
Yep.
I just want to preface anybody watching this video, you got to put in work. You got the marketing materials, you went out there, you put them out. But if you had to kind of put it on a scale, would you say this was easier than you expected, harder than you expected? What would you say as far as that's concerned?
For me, it was unbelievably easy. It doesn't really get much easier. I've started multiple businesses. I've sold phones before, not a huge fan for multiple reasons. I actually got out of that. I have a car that I rent on Turo. That's been kind of frustrating, just dealing with car issues, and it's annoying, and it's just lost me a lot of money. Couches is just, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I'm only 5'9", like 150, and I'm moving these couches by myself, so it's a lot of work. And yeah, for me, it was nothing. Like, you mean to tell me I could just go put out 50 stickers and 10 signs, and that's going to result in hundreds of dollars every time I do it? To me, it's unbelievably easy. I don't see how anybody could say this business is hard. I watched the dude on YouTube before my marketing materials come out, and he was like, people say it's easy, but it really work. It's work. And I don't know. To me, it's not that hard, but I guess that just depends on what you would consider to be hard work.
Now, give us the numbers, man. Everybody, they're going to come to this video. They're going to click on this video. Give us the breakdown. You've been doing the business since basically last Monday, or maybe, 6, 7 days a week, or however long you've been doing it, give us the breakdown about how much you spent, how much you sold the product for, how much you profited.
My first invoice, I sent out two, but they added up to 2,542, and I profited 1,321. So meaning I spent somewhere around like 1,200 or something, and yeah, I profited a little over 50%. And this is just like I said, this is just my first week, so I already know there's just the snowball that's gonna come with this. Just
That's the lucrative thing. The same people that he bought the product from that first time, or the product that you bought for the first time, they're going to come back to you every week, every month, every 2 months. It's going to get lucrative for you, bro. I'm really excited for you. Any goals? You made, 1,300 your first week. Any goals that you want to set out for, say, to end February with, or maybe to end March with? Any sort of goals you got set out for you?
my first month, I want to do 5,500 to 6K. That's my goal. Cause I've been making anywhere between like 7 to 9 selling couches. For me, I just know how realistic it is. I think once you've been able to do something, it just kind of enhances just your mindset going into things. And that's why I think I've been able to be relatively successful pretty fast. So I would say I want to do at least 5,500 first month. And I'm trying to scale this up. My goal is to get this to like 15,000. And I just don't see any reason why I can't. Just more marketing. I don't even feel like I've done that much marketing. Like I probably put out in total probably like 150 stickers and maybe like 20 signs. So I think it's very simple. The more you market, the more money I make.
I know you're doing the couches already, kind of full-time or part-time. Do you plan to go full-time or part-time with this? Or are you going to kind of do a hybrid of both? What's your goal as far as, how you're going to intertwine this with your current business?
Right now, I'm doing both, but I'm thinking I might just completely phase out couches at this point, because this just is so much easier on me when it comes to everything, just mentally, physically, just knowing that I don't have to worry about something sitting. I can send it out and make my money whenever I want. I don't have to worry about sales and bargaining with people. I already know exactly what I'm getting every single time I get product in my hand. So
And
yeah.
I could imagine with a couch, you might be sitting on the couch for what, 30, 60, 90 days?
Man, it didn't used to be like that. So when I first started, things would sell within a week. If I was sitting on something for a week, that was a long time. Now things will sell for 4 to 5, 6 weeks at a time now. And it's just annoying, just waiting on your assets to liquidate like that. It can get mentally taxing when you have bills and whatnot to pay. And it's like I'm not broke, but all my money's tied up. With this is pretty cool. It's like you can send it out whenever you want and you get paid. Even if it's not paid immediately, at least you know when that money's coming in. I don't really know when couches are gonna sell. So yeah.
Basically instantly if you want, or you could build up a $10,000 invoice and then sell that.
Exactly.
Freedom, the lucrativeness behind this. The last question we got here, Tim, and I appreciate you jumping on this video with me. If someone's watching this video, maybe someone came across the information, maybe they're in a job, maybe they're in a business they don't want to be doing anymore, maybe they're just looking for something additional, and you've had the success you've had. What would you say to them?
I would say if you got some hustle, this is a no-brainer. If you don't, then don't do it. But if you got some hustle in you, it's very, very simple. And that can put a lot of money in your pocket. And if you don't succeed, especially if you're in a relatively decent sized market, it's on you. There's really no excuse.
They got some hustle and then they could win with this, is what you think.
100%. 100%. If you got some hustle in it, you will win. If you have that mindset.
Yeah.
Because I know you saw, like, I don't go into anything like, oh, I'm going to try to do this. I did not go into that. I already knew. I was like, I'm about to make a ton of money doing this. First week, watch this, and that was the thought process I went into it with. So
I told that you might have maybe skipped that video just because of how your mindset's already built up. But one of the first videos I have in the course is like, if you go into this like, hey, I'm gonna give this a try, you might as well just not even do it. Thank you, man, for joining me on this video.
Really, I just want to thank you, for introducing this business to the world. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very, very grateful. And I'm excited to see where I'm going to take this, because I'm going to take this as far as I possibly can. I don't think it's just so easily scalable. And yeah, like I said, if you got some hustle, you can do this. So thank you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. We'll see you maybe in another video in the future when you're at, 20, 30,000 a month.